No, there's nothing's changed really from that standpoint and how we're collectively approaching practice. The As far as today, I do think you'll observe him playing football in a multitude of fashions every day. I think it's important to assess all variables, take into consideration uh, everyone involved as the head coach, and so you'd love to get in front of it, but there's a lot of days that if you're trying to extrapolate that, a lot of days that you can't account for different way the wind blows. So every day, assessing exactly what we're doing, because we're trying to do good jobs here. No, as professional athletes, you know, you, people pretty much know and understand and are very considerate of business dealings. I think our team specifically has found opportunity in the situation really because I haven't even been fielding questions. Concern People have enough on their plate, and their focus in situations like that. You could have some people that were exposed to not be focused. Fortunately for us, um, the deliberate intent and focus from each and every player has been on maximizing the opportunity on the field and getting their job done because collectively we're trying to achieve things as a team. Oh, I think that's outstanding. It's exactly how I feel about it, and in a lot of ways, I'm very hopeful that everyone sees it the same way. We're a bunch of grown men working together day after day. You start to learn each other, so that fires me up. I can't wait to give him a fist pound because that's exactly what you do. You use the opportunity for any sort of advantage. The former. What you try to do is you have your group of players that you're going to establish on the forefront. Who do you want to manage before you get to managing and find more people to manage? And in that, you're trying to disperse veterans so that no one position is put out of sorts or left vulnerable by lack of legs, thereby making their position group and players more vulnerable to injury. So it's all very strategic. Trust me, it's not just me involved in those plannings. That takes a whole team that when they bring the best ideas and the good ideas, I co-sign those and make them my own. You feel comfortable doing that when you're trying to work on your entire game, and so, there's a lot of times that's happened since we've got here. It's kind of something that I've always believed in. If a receiver needs a man-to-man or needs to run a route versus man, instead of forcing the defense to cater to your needs, why not wait for a rep that goes against man? Maybe that's in the second or third group. That's kind of erroneous. And so our skill positions really rotate that way so they can get opportunities at point of attack stuff. Generally, I'm kind of hesitant because this might give our defense a competitive advantage against our offense. But generally, if Tyreek's in with said quarterback, the ball's probably going to him. So so there's a lot of things at play. The quarterback receiver connection is important, but it's one of many things that are important, and there's a lot of work to be done in between. Man, I just got a little goosebumps there because it was cool to see. The timing of things, and you just know when a player is a free agent and for any amount of time, there's uncertainty. So you're thinking through all the different scenarios, and he gets here, and then it was not just like a it wasn't charity to give him that orange jersey. It was one of, if not the best practice that I've seen from him since I've been here. And there was a level of focus, a level of concrete certainty of his assignment, and he came out hungry. And whatever he's drinking in the morning might be a little fountain of youth in there. It was exciting. But the coolest thing about situations like that is you learn a lot about people just by observing the reaction of teammates. And when I tell you, like, everyone, when they found out that he was the orange jersey, was juiced. And then all he did with that is he was the, I think he ran 19 miles an hour yesterday at practice wearing that orange jersey. So, yes. Oh, no, I think you get it. Tyreek is a guy that is supremely competitive, and within that, in practice, he gets game reps. And so being able to put him in different situations for him to try different things is a really cool process, because, he has a skill set unique to his own. And I think he every month that I've been, every year with him, he's really grown more and more into the leadership role, and the responsibility of being, one of, if not the best player in the league. And what does he want the Miami Dolphins to look like? Instead of having to, carefully and deliberately coach players and tell them, he can just show them how he wants his teammates to practice and play by his effort, strain, and not just the pass game, the run game as well. Yeah, I think there's that's a very good question that is layered in ways of, like, a pressure in it of itself. Everybody has that. It's about how you are able to package that with like looks that can keep an offense off balance, as well as have multiplicity where the pressure is going to come from. I think as teachers, our scheme here, we even as staff really do a great job of finding concepts that players can understand, and from one player understanding all 11, so that you can put different pieces in different places. So that balance of keeping an opposing offense off balance while being sound and multiple, everyone would like to do it. We're confident that we're headed in the appropriate direction in that way, because we're trying to be as challenging that we can each and every Sunday. And I think it's a playing that way, being able to do simulated pressures specifically. You can have blitzes and coverage that overlap. You can have technique that overlaps, which means you can be better at what you do while being more multiple. So I think with that focus, the coaches have communicated the whole vision to the players in a very good manner, because I can see by how they execute their jobs that they understand it, and really how they strain shows me they believe in it. Well, I think he's in his own way. What he's describing right there is our offensive, or our players on offense here are immersed enough in the system to understand areas where, if you improve, can make everything improve. So what he's saying, he is confident in our ability to score explosively in short drives. Well, we've lived the experience the last 2 years that defenses don't want you to do that. So they give you up space initially, close to the line of scrimmage to make sure they can keep a roof over the offense and they're eligible. So everything, when it's all about taking advantage of overplay. So if you're overplaying deep, how can you get most efficient yardage 30 yards down the field? You better make people pay, otherwise they're going to keep doing it. So that's something I think our locker room does a great job of, is as players identifying consistencies of what's happening to us, and then our coaches, we try to come up with a plan on how to counter people's counter.
More recently, as far as his injury?
It wasn't recent. It was something he's working through, and we're trying to, like we do with all the guys that are coming off something, we don't want setbacks because really, and I don't really explain this ever, but like setbacks in this time of year are pretty problematic most of the time for guys for the whole season, because you're using this time is for you to be able to be game ready for football. And then if after that you happen to get dinged or injured, it's a lot easier to reassimilate. You go in, you start playing football after, with the last football that you've played is last season, like everybody. And then you have a quick exit from participation, especially in year one of a system. That's problematic. So we want we signed Odell to be Odell, and we're between the Miami Dolphins and him, we're making sure that we get him back on the field the right way and hit the ground running. So for him, it's just that much more important that he's on it in the classroom, and he's been as attentive of a veteran, basically stalking Wes Welker as one could hope. It's science. Don't ask me any more than that. No, I think every individual is unique to their own, that, people respond differently. Our buddy Frank Gore, I think, tore an ACL every year of his adolescence or something, and then played 30 years. So you just have to be, and players need to know that you can't just take things at surface value. For him, you see how the body responds, and you don't go into it assuming anything. But if the body loves it, you just let him roll. If there's some swelling, you chill out, and then you kind of go that way. I'm seeing a pro that, not to say that he wasn't a pro last year. He was a rookie that really impressed his teammates with his ability to digest and execute. Was that there? Huh? Was that to me? Sorry, I got distracted. I was like, wait. Okay. So we're on Devon, right? So he and he really impressed guys about how the game. You hear this a bunch. The game's not too big for him, right? Well, that's cool for Devon if that's where he wants his ceiling. Thankfully for the Miami Dolphins, that's not. So he's expanded roles, expanded different ways that he can get the ball. But he's really he's become a guy that pretty much every person on the offense counts on to know his responsibility, because and that helps everyone. So he's become a pro. Diet, strength. It's really cool to see. He had a taste of success, and fortunately for us, he's not satisfied with that. Absolutely. He and you know what? Like, everybody involved has been super professional, because if he is not going to be taking a rep, he's not going to have that rep lost on him. And in year 3 of the offense, that's a lot more impactful than if that would be the case in year 1. You have the muscle memory on a lot of things, so every rep can be, whether you're doing it or not, can be something that you can use to your advantage, because that muscle memory, it's not what he really needs to train. It's the visual seeing this particular picture. Our defense presents so many unique pictures, and he's been basically all those simulated pressures keep your awareness and locked in focus.